extraordinaire in Indianapolis. Tony, when you mentioned New Jersey, I had to sort of fight my way through and bluff my way through our conversation because I actually didn't know who the Republican challenger was in New Jersey. And you pulled this out and said, hey, if New Jersey's close, nobody's even going to be talking about Virginia. How'd you think about this?
Well, first, I don't think until this evening anybody really knew the name Jack Ciattarelli. Right? That wasn't a name that rolled trippingly off of the tongue because so much of the focus, because of the Loudoun County conversations, because of the remarkable failures of Terry McAuliffe, not only the gaffes, but really exposing a hatred for parents, that took so much of the lead. Then the stories out of Loudoun County about the school boards there and things that were hidden from parents really started to take hold. And what I said on my radio show today, and you were on the show, well, that was yesterday now, based on what time we're at right now, was that if the Republican wins, if Jack Ciattarelli wins in New Jersey, it's going to make the Virginia race look like an afterthought. And here we are. We're here, and you and I have been talking this evening. Watch Passaic County. See what happens in Passaic. That's northern New Jersey. Well, Ciattarelli still has the lead in Passaic County. We're taking a look at Bergen and some of the other things. This is absolutely stunning because while you saw the momentum shift going on in Virginia, and Youngkin ran an exceptional race, it can't be denied. It's going to get studied. New Jersey was an afterthought. But if you see Ciattarelli win and you have a Republican governor now in New Jersey, that's going to be the story. Every Politico in America should take a couple of days off, drink themselves a bourbon, and ask themselves, what did I miss? I think your last guest had it right. Man, they were completely off in New Jersey.
I'm thinking there's a bottle of bourbon behind you, so start there. But as we think about this looking forward, you have been a longtime supporter and whisperer to the MAGA movement and understood that. Glenn Youngkin, if he indeed pulls this out and wins, as it seems all indications are that he will, has won despite not necessarily the MAGA movement, but despite the MAGA personality, and certainly despite Donald Trump. He's kept him at arm's length, almost like the crazy uncle, which is, I love you, but don't come to my wedding, and you're certainly not coming to Thanksgiving. Wouldn't say his name in interviews. I asked Youngkin about Donald Trump, as did every other reporter, would never even say his name. And yet somehow MAGA voters that I talked to in the reddest of red states in Virginia still came out for him. How do you explain that?
Well, I think it's a pretty simple calculus. Learning the lessons of Donald Trump is extremely important. Learning how to fight is extremely important. Staying brave, staying strong on what they call cultural issues, the hot button issues, where you're decried or you're called a racist or a bigot, this, that, or the other. You have to stand strong on those things because these are the things, the subject. For example, when we talk about critical race theory in Loudoun County or throughout Virginia or throughout the country, and parents being bothered by what it is they're seeing and what their kids are learning, these are places to stand strong. I don't think there was really a dismissal of Donald Trump. There was the recognition from Glenn Youngkin, it seems as an outsider looking in, that you have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You have to be your own man or your own woman. And that's the path that he took. It wasn't a repudiation of Donald Trump. It was a learning of the lessons of how to stand strong. And that base that you're talking about, that you call it the MAGA base, I would call it an American base, stays with that. They like somebody who does that, who isn't afraid to lean into those issues that other people will call you a racist or a bigot for. You push that stuff right off to the side. Youngkin did a very, very good job of that. And we should also recognize when you start taking a look, as you have, into the granulars on what's happened in those Virginia counties, places where Trump won and Youngkin has won bigger, places where Biden won by double digits and yet Terry McAuliffe only won by a couple of percentage points. That's a suburban soccer mom. That suburban soccer mom may have been very, very bothered by Donald Trump and may have listened to the press talk about Donald Trump and decided, I can't take this anymore, and swing their vote. But now you came and you messed with their kids, and you can't mess with people's kids. And when you see Republicans realize that standing strong that Trump taught you to do, plus this message that parents and Americans are giving you, that's a winning combination. And what we're seeing from the political left right now in so many ways is they want to double down on that. Even today, after these two incredible races, win, lose, or draw, they still think that doubling down on telling parents you shouldn't have a say in your kids' education. Leave it to the experts. And then conversations about vaccine mandates and other things. They still think this is winning. They are in a tremendous amount of shock. Glenn Youngkin ran the right line. Respect those people who support Trump. Respect Donald Trump, because there's something absolutely worth respecting there. But you have to be your own man or your own woman. And that's the lesson that Republicans are going to take all across the country.
And that's where we'll end it, because where across the country they can take that to, and what races across the country are now in play for 2022 is where we're going next. Tony Katz, radio extraordinaire, listen to him on the internet across America from WIBC in Indianapolis. Tony, thank you. When we come back, more on the races now in play and how progressives are going to do the postmortem. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.